Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's Kanisha. Today's video is going to be on imposter syndrome and my own personal experiences with it and how I've kind of grown to navigate it and the things that have kind of helped me to process it. I figured the best place for us to start would be with the definition of imposter syndrome, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. For the definition, I decided to use the Wikipedia one. And I know, as students, that's probably not the best source we've been told to use, but I'm going to use it anyway for this video. So the definition of imposter syndrome, according to Wikipedia, is the psychological pattern in which one doubts one's accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. So having read that definition, for me, what imposter syndrome feels like is when you have an accomplishment or achievement, or you're in like a prolonged situation, you suddenly have this feeling that in the next minute somebody's going to bust through the door and tell you that you are not meant to be in that room, you're not qualified, you don't deserve to be there. And it feels like a constant looking over your shoulder and feeling just hesitant to embrace the situation that you're in or that accomplishment that you've achieved. And for people, this can look so different. It can be like getting into a prestigious university or even a university that you've always dreamed about going to. You're there and you still have that sense where you don't belong or you don't feel like you had the achievement that deserved for you to be there. And so imposter syndrome looks so different on different people. And for me, I think I first figured out that I had a feeling of imposter syndrome probably when I had a 3-month internship at Google in Ireland. And this was something that was literally from my dreams. Like, I could never have imagined myself being there, and to have been picked and to be able to actually be there in person, contribute, like that's something that I could only have dreamed of. So I remember when I first got the congratulations email after going through like the interview process, and rather than it feeling like, wow, I've done it, I've worked so hard to get to this place, I've gone through the interview process, I've given it my best shot, I had a feeling like, oh my gosh, what if they email me to say that they got the wrong candidate? What if they say that, sorry, there's been a mix-up and, you know, you're not who we're looking for? And I still shockingly had that feeling up until halfway through my internship. Like, when you're in a place filled with so many intelligent people from so many different experiences and who know so much about what it is that they're doing in their role, you can't help but feel like you don't know enough, or you don't feel as qualified to be in the space, to be in the meeting rooms with some of the people you admire the most. You have the sense of like, wow, any minute now they're just going to turn to you and be like, Kanisha, are you sure you're in the right room? Or actually, I don't think you know what you're talking about. Like that sense where you just don't feel like you belong. But it's not in a way where other people have made you feel that way. It's in your own head and you just perceive the situation to be that way. And so imposter syndrome can hold you back from opportunities, and it can hold you back from really embracing the present moment that you're in, because you're constantly having a feeling in your head like, oh my gosh, any minute now this is going to stop, or you just don't fully embrace that happy feeling, that feeling of like success. And for me, when I was feeling it the most during my internship, I actually turned to my mentor / life coach, who really helped me a lot to process the feelings that I was having and to really make sense of it so that it wasn't holding me back from being present in the moment and embracing opportunities and feeling successful in what I've been able to achieve. And so one of the things that really helped me that she said was, you deserve to be in the space that you're in right now. There's a reason why they chose you, there's a reason why they picked you, and the door opened for you because you are more than capable of fulfilling that role, of being in that institution, of being in that place, that you really shouldn't be making time to second guess, because it takes your mind away from really making a contribution that you are well qualified to do. So when she said that to me, I was like, you know what, that's so true. Like, I don't know whether it was just needing that reassurance and that reminder, but it just goes to show that most times when you're in a situation, whether you're in a job role or you're at university or you're fulfilling something that you've kind of always wanted to do, that you being in that space is not a mistake, and you're well deserving of being there and you're so capable. And remembering that can really give you more perspective to be present, be in the moment, and to make the most of it. As students, I can guess a lot of times you can feel that when we go to networking events or we go to the companies we really want to apply for, when we are in situations where we're recognised for achievements, that you sometimes attribute that for other reasons for your success. So rather than saying, yes, I worked really hard to get that first class degree, you sometimes put it down to, oh, you know, it was just because I had amazing lecturers, or it was just because I, you know, X, Y, Z, rather than really saying it was because you worked hard and because you put in the time, you put in the effort, that you have got this accomplishment. So imposter syndrome really can creep up on you, and for some people it can be quite a roadblock to going forward to what they want to achieve and going forward to getting that thing that they've worked really hard to attain. And it's literally something that works in your mind, and if you don't acknowledge it, if you don't recognize it, it can really take its toll in different ways. So having spoken about it, experienced it, and still kind of, okay, I'm still navigating, I haven't come out on the other side. I think imposter syndrome, really interestingly, is that so many people we look up to and we admire feel imposter syndrome. Like one video was about Michelle Obama talking about her feeling of imposter syndrome when she got into Harvard. Meryl Streep, Sheryl Sandberg, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Facebook, like all these people who have really reached the pinnacle of their industries and what they do, they also get that feeling of being a fraud, even though we look at them and we just perceive them to have it all, have that sense of confidence, and be well deserving of the accolades that they achieve. If they feel this feeling of imposter syndrome, then it means that imposter syndrome might not be something that can fully disappear, but instead maybe it's something that we just have to go to navigate and get better at understanding, embracing, and being able to just push it to the back of your head whenever it starts to creep up. So for me, the way that I'm going to navigate imposter syndrome is by first acknowledging and understanding that every single person experiences it to a degree. If I can list those people who have done incredible things but still experience imposter syndrome, then it goes to show the people in your meeting room, the people that are in your lecture rooms are also feeling a sense of imposter syndrome at one point in time during their journey. And that's kind of reassuring because it just doesn't suggest that you're alone in experiencing this. And it leads to my second thing, where it says if you speak up about it, you'll find that the people that you admire, the people that you relate to the most also have that feeling. And it puts it into perspective that if they're feeling it, I'm feeling it, then really should it be something that should hold me back from opportunities, hold me back from pursuing the things that I really want, you deserve, and you are qualified to go after. So that just helps put it into perspective. The third thing that I would say that would really help a lot would be to note down during the moments you feel imposter syndrome the most and say what it is that's happening at the time. So is it that you've been nominated for something like an award, or nominated for recognition or received one? Is it a time when you've received your dream job offer and you're wondering, am I qualified to get it, even though you've gone through several interview stages, your job application's been looked at, like so many things that have screened you and they've said yes, you're still having that little fraud feeling in the back of your head that's like, oh my gosh, do I really deserve to be here? Note that down, because what happens when you note it down is that it takes it out of being in your head to something that you've seen on paper, and you now have some kind of, and you kind of have this power where you can like scratch it out, or you can just put it in the paper, close it and push it to the side. That leaves you room to just keep going forward. And the other benefit of writing it down is that this is something that you can look back on in the future and remind yourself that there was that time when I felt incredibly nervous to step into this new role, or I was in that meeting room and I felt like a fraud for that big project that I was put forward for. That when you're next looking back at it, it will be after you've completed that project and it's been to a great success, that you're looking at it and you're like, so I experienced that, I know what happened, I know the worst case scenario did not take place, and I'm still alive, I'm succeeded, and I've gone to that next level. You're essentially reminding yourself of a time when you basically overcome that feeling of imposter syndrome. So those are 3 things that definitely have helped me to navigate imposter syndrome. I'd be keen to hear from you if you've experienced this, or if there are things that have helped you to navigate it as well. Please write it down in the comment below, and I hope this video has been of value to you and you've learned something new. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this is something that you've enjoyed, and to also stay tuned to more content that I produce in the future. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'll see you in my next one.